Nations Board has just issued several new rulings favourable to the nation's unions, including one likely to make it easier for healthcare workers to unionise. The rulings come just before America's Labor Day holiday this weekend, and at a time when some wonder whether unions still have much of a future in the US. Poppy Harlow reports.
This is basically my office. This is where I work.
Roger Young Jr. spends his days in manholes, splicing cables for Verizon, just like his father did 40 years ago. Are you a union-proud family?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
But lately, it's not the phone lines they've been focused on, it's the picket line. Verizon and its unions have been bargaining hard over issues that include contributions towards healthcare premiums, freezing pension plans, and job security.
Verizon can hear us now.
But have unions lost their voice? Are you afraid that unions are dying in America?
I don't think they're dying. I think they're ill.
Once a part of the American way of life, membership has declined by the decade. In 1950, 1/3 of American workers were unionized. Today, it's a mere 11%. Union members say outsourcing and technology have both contributed to eliminating some union jobs.
There's no doubt unions overall have less bargaining power than they had 30, 20 years ago. They have less political power than they've had because, they've shrunk as a share of the workforce.
Do you ever feel like you're fighting for the survival of unions for your kids one day?
Well, I think I'm fighting for the survival of everybody's kids for unions someday because these are great jobs.
The unions are what made this country great.
Unions point to higher wages, guaranteed pensions for most members, and better health insurance than their non-union counterparts. And all that, unions say, makes them strong contributors to overall economic growth.
Our economy is 72% driven by consumer spending. Unless people have in their pocket money, they can't create that demand. We know that we can't have a low-wage, high-consumption society.
There's a decline in the middle class, but that decline in the middle class is directly related to the decline in unions.
And that's the bigger question.
If unions were stronger, I think the evidence from other countries and from history is we wouldn't have an extreme polarized income distribution the way we have it now.
Today, negotiations resume between Verizon and the CWA and IBEW. The strikers have already left the picket lines and returned to work, but without a contract and still divided on key issues like health care. The unions say the strike has shown the workers are serious about getting what they want.
This is our fight for our lives.
In New York, Poppy Harlow, CNN Money.